Welcome to On the Money Holiday Handbook. I'm Stephanie Ruhle, here with everything you need to stay on budget over the holidays. We know 'tis the season of giving, but that does not mean it's the season for free-for-alls. Today, we're going to give you all the tools you need to avoid a holiday debt hangover. I can't help you with the other kind of hangover, but we can when it comes to money. And if you've already spent too much, do not worry. We're going to share some tips to get you back on track. And later in our show, two moms will share their secrets for getting their kids dream gifts without buying a single thing. It is true. You're not going to believe it, but it is true. An Etsy trend expert, Dayna Isom Johnson, is here with a great gift idea that will not break the bank. But first, we got to start with the money rules. These are the words, the terms you need to know to get through this holiday season responsibly. Let's start with credit. What does it mean? It is not just a piece of plastic in your wallet. It is your ability to borrow money with the expectation that you're going to pay it back. During the holidays, credit cards can be a big draw for shoppers, but it's also how we overspend. We cannot forget that the key part of the definition is that you have to pay it back. You need to use your credit cards to your advantage, but you have to remember that you risk hurting your credit score and your overall financial health if you do not pay them back on time and in full. Next, this is a really important one, interest. If you are buying stuff with anything other than credit, i.e. like your credit cards, lenders are likely going to charge you a percentage of your purchase. You need to know exactly how much it's going to cost you to borrow that money. That includes credit cards and those trendy things that you want to buy, things you want to buy now. Oh my goodness, I found something on a flash sale. Pay attention. Just because it's on sale doesn't mean it's a good deal if you're going to be paying a huge amount in interest over the next few months. And finally, plan, plan, plan. I know you don't want to. We all love walking into a mall, checking out all those kiosks, but then we end up swiping, and overspending. We all do it. But take a deep breath. Make a plan that includes what you're buying, who you're buying it for, where you're getting it from, and most importantly, how you're going to pay for it. And speaking of planning, did you know that nearly 1 in 3 Americans expect to take on debt this holiday season? They gain weight and they gain debt. Nobody likes that. According to a survey from Credit Karma, Connecticut mom Crystal Terry, she's one of those very people. I want you to watch her story.
A typical holiday season for me is celebrating with my family. Looking forward to definitely Thanksgiving, because then 2 weeks later I have my son's birthday. It's a busy couple of months for us, but I'm super pumped about it. I'm Crystal Terry. I live in Connecticut. I work in the financial services industry. I have an adorable 5-year-old, almost 6-year-old son named Casey, and my husband Tucker. We definitely tend to enjoy the holiday season for sure. Maybe a little too much sometimes. I don't want to feel like I am penny pitching when it comes to gifts for my family and friends, or just things that we want to get for around the house. But I also want to be cautious and walk away not thinking, oh my gosh, we spend so much money now, we have to dig ourselves out of a debt hole to save again. Mostly for my son. If I see something I think he'll like, I just get it. So I don't really have a number of how many gifts he gets. He's a happy little boy on Christmas, that's for sure. But in regards to my immediate family, that adds up. And 2 years ago, we tried to do Secret Santa. You have a cap on their gift, which was great because you had a budget. But a lot of times people still went outside of that budget, like myself. And then last year, we went back to the traditional, everybody just buys stuff for everybody. We like to stay around $100 a person. Most times we go over that, but that still obviously quickly adds up to $1,000 if you have 10 people. And that's the core group, not counting teachers, gifts, and friends. And we try to, at least a couple of months in advance, put money aside for the holidays. Sometimes that's spent a little bit beforehand on other things. I've done installments or, the different pay plans to kind of stretch things out if need be. I did that a little bit last year. Those are good and bad because, at the time you feel like, oh, great, you're not spending as much during the holidays. But then, it's still ongoing months and months after Christmas. I lost my father. He was my best friend. And we've lost a couple of people that have been close to us. So it's now, we make a conscious effort to kind of see more people because you never know what's going to happen in the future. And the holiday times are a great way to do that. My husband loves to cook, but we also do like to host and make it a fun time and not skimp on things when hosting. So that could easily add up, especially with prices going up now this year. it's super easy to spend, to go out of your budget. I could budget, $100 or $200, and I come home with like $500 of things because I am more of an impulsive type. There are times we spent about $500, especially on larger, holiday gatherings, because you have not only the menu that you're planning with the food, you have the drinks, which are very expensive. And when you like to host, our friends like to have some cocktails and some wines, like to have nice decor and go along with the holiday theme. And here and there you pick up things, but that adds up quickly too. So just excited to get with family and friends. And I want to be conscious of my spending because we do want to try eventually and save up to buy a house.
We all want to have a lot of joy over the holiday, but Crystal, we are here to help you. More joy doesn't have to mean more spending. We're going to get strategic. We're going to solve for this. Coming up next, Crystal and retail whiz Kristen McGrath from Retail Me Not join us, and we're going to give Crystal a holiday shopping strategy that you will not want to miss. And later in the show, just imagine this, getting your holiday presents and decorations for free. We're going to introduce you to a community where you can do exactly that. On the Money Holiday Handbook returns right after the break. Welcome back to On the Money Holiday Handbook. It is easy to spend too much money during the holidays. And this year, with rising prices and supply chain issues, it is more important than ever to have strategies in place before you start your shopping. I want to bring in Kristen McGrath. She's the editor at Retail Me Not, and she's got some great ideas to control some of that holiday spending. And Crystal Terry is also back with us. Hello to both of you. Crystal, first of all, I want to go to your house for Christmas. I want your husband's cooking. I would like you to buy my children all of their gifts. You are a Christmas goddess. You put on an unbelievable spread, but help us understand what goes on behind that, because you definitely have some challenges when it comes to spending. Do you have a plan of attack yet?
Well, I hopefully would like to stay within a budget this year, but also make sure that the gifts that I give everybody are thoughtful and everybody feels just as special. So that's one of the challenges that I'm going to be facing this year because, like I mentioned before, I typically overspend. So
I often say, especially as it relates to when we go out for the holidays, go on a cash diet. Bring whatever cash you have, and then at the end of that time at the mall, when your wallet's empty, it's time to go home. But especially now that we're doing more and more online shopping, we are using credit cards. And we're now seeing these buy now, pay later options. Can you explain what this is and some tips around it?
Sure. We've seen a proliferation of these buy now, pay later apps and programs. And so what they essentially allow you to do is make a purchase and then break that payment up over installments. Terms vary by program. But really, in the moment, the money's a little less real because you're able to defer the costs and spread them out over time so it can be really easy to lose track.
Okay, but what's the risk? Because unlike a credit card, if you don't pay on time, you could really get hit.
Right. These buy now, pay later programs have different terms. Some of them charge you late fees if you miss a payment. Some of them do have interest involved. And, it's just like any form of credit. If you completely miss the boat and just stop paying, you can end up dealing with a collections agency, which hurts your credit in the long run.
And it's horrible to have to deal with that. So we have a few weeks before Christmas. Many of us haven't started our holiday shopping. What are some tips you have to help us stay on budget?
Right. So I really liked what Crystal had said about thinking about putting money aside in advance. So if you have a number, you know how much money you have in the bank. That's the most important step. And from there, you need to make a really detailed, itemized list. I like to do it the old-fashioned way, pen to paper. Come up with a spending limit for each person on your list and really itemize it. Everything from gifts to what you need to get the teacher, to what you need to get those dogs, to what you need to spend on the holiday meal. So you come up with a holistic number, itemized spending for each category, so that you know how much you have, and it's hard to still not go over, but at least you're thinking about it deliberately in advance.
We also need to prioritize our lists, but when we go to the stores and we see signs that say lowest price of the season, we often think it's on sale, let me jump on that. How important is it to research price history, right? Because just because something is on sale right now, if we look back a year from now, it may have been half the price.
Right. You need to arm yourself with as much information as possible. So when you're making that list, especially when it comes to gifts, look exactly at what gifts you want to get and start looking up those items. Start seeing what the full price is. Use a price history tool. I like the one called Camel that lets you see over the past year what that item's been offered at. So that in the moment, when you're seeing lowest price ever, you actually know if that's true and if you should jump on it. Because if you don't go in with a plan and with knowledge, the holiday hype machine is going to give you a game plan, and it's not going to be a budget-friendly one.
Okay, impulse shopping, though, that's what hurts me. When I'm at the store, I've got my list, I have an item in mind, and they're out of it. That's when I start looking around. That's when, let's say, I'm near the counter or I'm walking by a kiosk in a mall, and there's as seen on TV, as seen on TikTok, and the next thing you know, I've spent hundreds of dollars. How do we manage our impulse shopping? Those are the budget busters.
Right. And that's going to be extra hard this year because of supply chain issues. The thing you might have planned to buy is going to be sold out. And then what do you do in the moment? So I like to shop online for that very reason. I mean, it might seem like online shopping is almost too easy, but it gives you the option of, oh, the thing is sold out on one website. Let me check Walmart. Let me check Target. Let me check Amazon. They might have it. So you can still get that item. It's also handy to have, when you're making that budget, some backup options too, so that you're not flailing trying to find some gift, any gift, okay, here's my first choice, second choice, third choice, and they're all in my budget.
Crystal, what do you most want to know?
Is it, do you think it's best to buy things now or wait for the typical Black Friday sales where everybody's going crazy?
Right. It's so confusing this year because retailers are starting to offer Black Friday sales earlier than ever. And I think right now it is smart, especially if there's a very popular item on your list or a big ticket item, it's smart to buy it now. If you've done your price research, you'll know a good deal when you see it. You can feel good about checking it off your list. And then Black Friday and Cyber Monday can be the final round where you scratch everything else off your list, maybe pick up some holiday necessities. But I would say to avoid the stress, avoid the impulse buys, and avoid too much hype, I think it's smart and strategic to start looking for deals now, and retailers are certainly offering them.
So I just want to stay on that. So for those of us, I'm going to say I love shopping. I love retail. Is the best way to manage our shopping, do it early online, and then if we decide to venture out to the mall around Black Friday sales, we're just getting the odds and ends, not the big stuff?
Sure. And, I'm a big fan of some of those boring Black Friday buys. I mean, there's great deals on towels, pressure cookers, a lot of things you might need for the holidays and hosting. So if you really like the in-store Black Friday fun, save it for those items that aren't going to break the bank, but that you can save big on if you actually need them.
I like to go old school, the real sales, the day after Christmas. That's not really in the holiday spirit, though. Kristen, Crystal, thank you both so much. I really appreciate you joining us. We're going to leave it there. But coming up next on our holiday handbook, we're going to show you 2 ways to find the hottest gifts for the season. 2 moms will show you how to buy nothing. And Etsy trend editor Dayna Isom Johnson will stop by to share some must-have gifts for the holiday season. We'll be right back. Welcome back to On the Money Holiday Handbook. Money is tight for many this holiday season, and even with Santa's help, it can be really stressful to buy presents for the people that you love. But what if you could get your Christmas gifts from your neighbors all for free? You actually can do this with Buy Nothing, an online community created to help people buy less and share more.
I am Sarah Riblon, and I'm an admin of our local Buy Nothing group. I live in Plainfield, Illinois, with my husband, my 8-year-old daughter, and my dog.
Hi, I'm Sophie, mother of 2 kids from North Carolina, and I'm a member of Buy Nothing for 2 years. Buy Nothing is an online global community where people give and take stuff with their neighbors.
I have done most of my Christmas shopping on the Buy Nothing page. There are so many things people post, especially around this time of year. Some groups do something called Buy Nothing Black Friday. On Black Friday, instead of running out to all the stores, you sit at home in your pajamas and scroll the page, and people are posting and posting and posting gifts. My daughter, for Christmas, her largest gift from Santa has come from Buy Nothing the last few years. One time she got an American Girl dollhouse. The best part of that gift was we didn't have to put it together. It might have saved my marriage. It stands 4 feet tall, 3 or 4 feet wide. I'm sure it was a lot of money, and we got it for absolutely free. One year she wanted a hot cocoa machine. I decided to put it out on Buy Nothing, and someone said, "Hey, I have a Keurig. Can you use that?" And I said, "Well, of course, that's awesome." And she was over the moon.
I am planning to use Buy Nothing for Christmas for gifting things and for Christmas decoration that I can have new ones and give away my old ones. I asked Pokemon cards and I received 2 bags full of Pokemon cards for my daughter. She's really happy about it. And when she's done with Pokemon cards, I can always post and say, "Hey, I have tons of Pokemon cards and I'm ready to give it for free."
It's really just neighbors helping neighbors. And when you give on Buy Nothing, you see who received it, and they will post a picture of their child opening this gift, and you see the joy that it brings them, and it just wants you to give more and more and more. The benefits go beyond that, and reducing consumerism and the stress of the holidays. It's out. You know, you're shopping from your couch, and then the carbon footprint of manufacturing goods, getting them to places, and the shipping concerns this year, being worried that you might not even get what you're looking for. I've gifted clothes that my daughter's grown out of. I've gifted toys. I've gifted a television. The amount of giving is really endless.
This is absolutely amazing. I just cleaned out my basement. I've got a barely used Easy Bake oven and a bunch of Christmas decorations I don't use anymore. I'm about to join this community. That is awesome. I know another big trend this season and over the last few years has been all about shopping small, shopping local. Many holiday shoppers are turning to their local small businesses, not just because they want to support their mom and pop shop, but because they're very worried about shipping delays, all these supply chain issues. So I want to bring in our friend and small business expert, Etsy trend expert, Dayna Isom Johnson. Dayna, I'm so glad you're with us. I want to get to the trends of the season, but I do want to start with how do you help people manage, right? We're not even into December yet. I don't normally think about holiday shopping, and now I'm panicked, worrying about shipping delays, supply chain issues. What can we do?
You got to start right now. It's all about starting early and really getting a head start because you want to beat those potential shipping delays. And like you said, now is a better time than ever to really support those local businesses because these local businesses are not faced with the same disruptions that those big box retailers are in terms of bringing in materials and manufacturing those goods.
All right, well, then let's talk trends. When I think about Etsy and last year, it feels like the biggest trend were mask sellers. People aren't necessarily buying masks for one another this Christmas and Hanukkah, but what are they buying?
Yeah, okay, so let's kick it off with one of the hottest trends, which is all about an expanded color palette. So you're going to see a lot of items, whether Christmas decor, holiday decor, or gifts that have these neons or pastels or outside the box colors of those traditional colors. On Etsy, we saw a 47% increase in searches for neons, pastels, or jewel tone colors. So with you in the studio, you have really beautiful pots. And one thing to keep in mind
planters,
is that all of
I
these
love
gifts
them.
are under.
I want to say I love them. They're mega bright. They're a little bit pricey, though. How do you stretch the cost?
Well, here's a trick. So that set of pots is a set of 3 for $80. So my tip to you is to make each of those pots an individual gift. Just add the greenery. Everyone loves a splash of greenery. That was another major trend, creating a plant oasis in your home. And everyone loves to receive that. So turn that into 3 gifts.
I love that. I also love that it is a potted plant because when someone comes to my home with cut flowers, they're beautiful. But the next thing you know, then I'm scrambling around my attic looking for a vase and it's a big mess. I want to talk about these crayons because, listen, any kid anywhere loves crayons. These ones are pretty amazing. Talk to us about them.
Oh, these are so wonderful, and they align with that bright color trend as well. Now, what's so great about these is that they can be personalized. So you're going to work directly with the maker, get the name spelled out exactly how you want. You're increasing and hopefully encouraging creativity in children and asking them to put the screen aside for a bit and jump up that creativity.
All right, I am not the greatest artist out there. I'm not a super crafter. However, during COVID, DIY kits, crafting became a really big thing for my family. It's a way we would all do things together. We would even do the same crafts. We'd get the same kits with my sister's family and do it over Zoom. You've got some great ones this season.
Exactly. And so this is continuing to be a very popular trend. Get this number, a 1,056% increase in searches for DIY kits. So this is a really wonderful way to bring the family together and do exactly like what you talked about. Do it together. So whether you're doing paint your own ornaments or earring sets, whatever it may be, again, it's about spending that quality time together for the holiday season.
Something that makes people always feel special is if you put a lot of effort in, and that comes with getting personalized gift. We've seen different ways people can personalize a necklace, like with their child's name, but you found one that has a new take on the tradition.
Absolutely. So this is a fresh take on that traditional name bar necklace. Now, a lot of sellers we're seeing will engrave the name throughout the entire necklace. So you can get 3 different names. And again, it is the best because it is the ultimate level of personalization. Of course, you're adding the name, but then you're also choosing the finish, whether that be rose gold, gold, silver, and then you're also selecting the necklace length. So you're really customizing at every step.
All right. You also found a way to honor the most special member of a family, the family pet.
Absolutely. So we saw so many people bring in fur babies into their homes over the pandemic. And so getting a custom portrait made is the absolute best way to add them to the family or gift to a family member who recently added this special member to their family. Now, here's what makes this item so great.
It looks to me that special family member on your right might be the cutest dog I've ever seen. Can we see that one?
Well, you know what? You may be a little biased because
I may be. That, in fact, is Skipper Dipper, my own family dog.
That's right. That's right. Here's what's great about this item, though. It's what I call a printable. So you're going to work directly with the maker, send them an image of the pet. They're going to create that custom drawing. And then guess what? You don't even have to leave your home. You're going to print it right from your home, and then you can frame it and hang it right from the comfort of your home.
My goodness, that could be hanging above the fireplace by Christmas Eve. Dayna, thank you so much. Right. You definitely got us more prepared, a little smarter, and definitely more excited for shopping this holiday season. I appreciate it.
Happy holidays.
You too. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at the headlines that are impacting your wallet. That's right after this. Welcome back to On the Money. Here's the news you need to know from the business world and what it means for your wallet. To keep up with all the holiday shopping madness, companies are rushing to find workers to keep up with higher demand this season. The National Retail Federation expects retailers will be hiring between 500,000 and 665,000 seasonal workers just to keep the shelves stocked. Mail carriers, UPS, FedEx, and the Postal Service, they're adding a combined 230,000 workers to keep packages moving this year. Employers are also offering higher pay, benefits, and even hundreds of thousands of dollars in signing bonuses to entice workers onto their payroll. So if you've got some extra time, you might want to think about a seasonal job. And this one is majorly important. Open enrollment. It's underway for 2022 insurance coverage. So if you're looking for health care next year, if you want to change it, now is the time to check with your employer or register via healthcare.gov. And if you still have money left in your FSA, that's your flexible spending account, you need to focus on that now, because at the end of the year, you will lose it. Figure out what you still need. Is it glasses? Is it pharmacy items? Buy it now before the end of the year. Use it or lose it. That is it for our holiday handbook. I'm Stephanie Ruhle. Thank you so much for joining us. For more holiday advice, from shopping deals to recipes and tips for gathering safely this year, go to today.com/holiday handbook. I'll see you again soon.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.